Welcome, dreamers of the internet. I am Bianca, and this is my YouTube channel. Before we begin, we got new content uploaded every day, so be sure to subscribe and then click on the bell icon below to get notifications when they come out. All set? Then let's get the show on the road. Hello, dreamers of the internet. Hello, world. Welcome back to my channel. As always, I am Bianca. And for today, we will be playing Valkyria Chronicles 4. Just a demo though, since the full game isn't out until the 25th of September this year. Now, you can pre-order it on the PlayStation Store as well as the eShop, Nintendo eShop. And I think I'm not sure if this is available for Xbox One or the PC. I don't have an Xbox One and I rarely play on my PC. Mostly I just use my PC for writing and for developing my own video games. Now, anyway, it's up for pre-order for $60. You can get that now if you want. Now, I don't know anything about this game. I mean, story-wise, I tend to not read through this long text from the shop or the store. I want to be surprised when it comes to the story. But Nintendo did send us a news bit for the demo, which is right here. And according to this, we can play through the prologue and the first two chapters of the game in this demo, and as well as an exclusive bonus mission created just for this demo. Now, we can save in the demo, we can transfer the save, and that includes the items we obtained, the levels of the characters that we earned, as well as experience, and the money, which will be helpful when we have the full game. Now, according to this, importing the save file from the demo will also net us an exclusive accessory that we can use for the game. Now, this news clip also has instructions for those who have yet to pre-order or preload the game, who hasn't pre-purchased and preloaded the game before and are thinking of doing that for this game. But anyway, that's enough of this for now. Let me just exit from here and we can proceed to play the game. Now you can use there's a link also there for downloading them if you haven't already. Now let's start the game and see what we have here. Alright, so as I have said, I know nothing about the story for this game. All I know is that you control Claude, someone named Claude, and you're a part of, I think it's Squad E. Now, whatever else is in this game, I don't know. I didn't actually check since, as I've said before, I wanted to be surprised. But this is not my first time playing a Valkyria Chronicles game. I have played it before, and there is even I have a playthrough of the first game here in my channel, also the second game, which I will link below, and also you can click on the icons above if you want to watch that. But yeah, for this game, I have really no idea what to expect other than probably a good story, since most of the Valkyria Chronicles game do have an intriguing storyline and a colorful cast of characters. Now, Of all the Valkyria Chronicles game I have played before, I have to say that the first one is still my favorite. Now I know the third game hasn't been localized, but there are fan translations scattered around the net. If you guys are interested, I could also play that game with the translation in it. But anyway, that was an interesting opening cinematic for this game. So let's start. Before we do start the game, I want to check the options. Make sure that subtitles are on, since it's much more easier to have subtitles when you're making let's play and walkthrough and playthrough videos, at least for me. Now, save data from the demo can be imported, we know that. Import demo save data to obtain bonus accessory, we've also read about that. What else?
We enlisted. At last, we had something to believe in, something worth fighting for. None of us yet knew, we couldn't foresee what this war would cost us. It was a battlefield, but it was where we grew up. Wind out of the northeast, clear skies, and nap time's over. Come on, Raz.
I wasn't napping, just resting my eyes. You gotta relax, man. You're way too freaking tense. Your hands are shaking. So sack up, Commander. It's about time we get ready to roll out. Let's show those imps what's coming to them.
Yeah. A shift in the wind. There.
Huh? You getting those wind whispers again? Imperial's incoming! All right, boys, it's go time!
Squad E, do you read me? Squad E!
This is Commander Claude Wallace. Squad E!
The Imperial forces are on the move, heading for your position!
Ready to engage.
Do not let them break through to the front line. We're counting on you.
Roger that. Over.
Good luck, Squad E.
They won't advance until they're done shelling the area. We should have time to prepare. Kai, take a group to that southern hill and slow down their left flank. Raz, take 2 soldiers east and make some noise for me. You got that?
Gotcha. Keep up or get left behind!
At your command. Hoffman, roll out! Squad E, ready to engage. All right. Just remember your training. We can do this.
So I guess they're throwing us right at the heat of battle, which is kind of a thing for Valkyria Chronicles. They put you into a battle just so they can teach you the ropes, teach you the controls, teach you the mechanics of the game. Now I'm not sure if there's anything new in the game's mechanics. I'm hoping there is. I'm hoping they add something different, but something refreshing into the game that doesn't necessarily destroy that which made Valkyria Chronicles a great game. but we'll see. And I'm not sure if we can see the full scope of that in
everyone's
this
in
demo.
position.
Probably not. They
Finally.
probably want to save something for
I'm their commander.
the
It's up
full
to me
game
to
when
get
it
everyone
comes
out
out
alive.
in September. But anyways, so this is
Remember your
Claude.
training.
He's
can do
the
this. I can do
commander
this.
of Squad E. If I got that right. Now, tutorial, command mode. When combat starts, you'll see a map of the area and your unit's position. This is referred to as command mode. Now, that's something that has been around since the first game, where we can select the units we'd like to move based on the terrain and their respective position. Now, we can move Raz, who will be controlling, I guess, with the directional keys, and then we select A to select him. What? Select A to select him. Alright, tutorial action mode. Selecting a unit switches them to action mode where they can move and attack. Move a unit in action mode with the directional button or the left stick. The AP gauge on the bottom of the screen will slowly deplete while a unit is moving. Once a soldier runs out of AP, they will be left unable to move, which is something that is present on all three Valkyria games. Order Raz to move forward. Okay, so we're heading for that sandbag. Tutorial, attacking. Now that they have moved in position, it's time to attack. Press while in action mode to enter the target mode. Move the crosshairs with the left stick. Press bumper keys. Press A to attack them. Survive the mechanic and every shot counts. So it's basically just the same as the previous games, though these are just the basic controls. Now I'm gonna try to headshot this opponent since you only need 2 shots to kill him, which I did. Ending actions. Troops can only attack once per action. Once the unit is done moving and attacking, end the action to return to command mode. Press the plus button to end the unit's action, even if they have leftover AP or has not yet attacked. Pressing B can also end your action. So that's new. I think for the PSP, where the first 3 games were, we didn't have the option of just pressing B button. I think I had to constantly press the start button just to end the turn.
Why not? You're invincible, right? Are you really getting tripped up over some common foot soldiers? Why don't you ever stop and think?
Oh, shut up!
Also, I can't quite remember if the second game
Never asked.
had these
This
voice
won't take long.
dialogues in between battle. I think some of the scenes do, some don't. So I'm hoping the entire game has voiced
Now advancing.
dialogue. Tutorial, snipers. The sniper class specializes in shooting down enemies from afar. Zoom in and out during target mode by moving the right stick. Use a scope to line up headshots. So there are 2 enemies. I'm gonna try if we can reach that enemy over there. So let's try it out. If we can kill him. Oops. No, so we can't reach that far. I guess we'll need another turn to continue on with the game. I don't think they'd let us move forward unless we kill one
Moving out.
of those 2 enemies with Kai. So let's just target the closer one. I really would rather have killed that one from afar.
There.
Maybe if I had moved a bit further
Didn't take much.
forward, I
Keep up the
mean,
good work.
the attack could have hit. I'm just gonna position Kai here. Now what's next? Tutorial CP and ending phases. Selecting a unit in command mode uses up 1 command point. Command points reflect the number of times you can control a unit per player phase. When it reaches 0, the player phase ends and the enemy phase begins. So it's the same controls, the plus or the B button ends our turn or our phase, and since we don't have any CPs left, we have to end it. Now, since if this has the same mechanic as the others, those 3 command points the enemies have correlates to the number of enemies that are present in the level. So right now we still have 3 enemies available. I'm guessing the last one will show itself
There we go. About
later
time,
on.
Claude.
Yeah, I know. Soldiers, forward! Now's our chance to take the offensive.
I like how the voice matches with what the characters look like. So backup has arrived. CP and consecutive actions. Command points are replenished at the end of each player phase. Can be used on the same unit multiple times in a row. Impasse dangerous terrain are finishing off a tedious enemy. So they'll tire out and start each consecutive action with less AP if we keep on using them. So we have to be very mindful of how we control the units, who we use, how many times we use them, which is really basically what the tactical RPG is all about.
Now advancing.
Excluding Full Metal Panic, which I still can't get over. So this sandbag tutorial kind of came late since we've already made use of it when we controlled Raz. Aiming and weak points. Critical hits such as headshots deal greater damage than normal. Quick aim, and there's the arrow keys to line up the shot. So this really feels like it's the same basic principles as the other games, which is good in a way, I guess, since apart from the story and the characters, the gameplay is what makes Valkyria Chronicles Valkyria Chronicles. Now, can we reach this enemy? I hope so, because I would not like to waste a turn. Well, that was okay, I guess. We could have gotten a headshot in and killed that enemy.
First battle, huh?
So let's end Kai's turn and pick another one. I don't want to use Raz yet. I want to try using all the other characters first. So if I remember correctly, that insignia next to the name means that Zanga, or however you pronounce his name, is a gunner. Which means they deal heavy fire damage, I think. They use machine guns, assault rifles. Scouts can travel far distances, but they only have rifles, I think. And in the previous games, they also have what do you call it? The Ragnite grenade. I'm not sure if we have that available to us yet.
Let's get this over with.
But yeah, scouts can travel farther distances than snipers or gunners can. But they take much more damage than gunners. I think the snipers are the ones that have pathetically weak defenses, if my memory serves right. So let's use the other scout. Okay, so let's make use of our final scout. We're gonna try to defeat that lone scout enemy that our previous scout couldn't beat. There we go. Now we only have one enemy left.
Target destroyed. Good work.
So which one is it? It's a tank. Of course it's a tank. We have a tank as well, which means the tutorial part will probably be about the tank, Claude's tank.
Busting out the tanks, huh? This one's all yours, Claude.
Yeah, Claude's gonna have to deal with this.
It's our turn now. Fire up the engine, Miles. Yes, sir. Okay, the Hafen's moving out. Destroy the enemy tank.
Hafen. The Hafen. So that's what our tank is called. The Hafen. Hafen. Tutorial Tanks. Tanks boast firepower and endurance far beyond that of foot soldiers. They can withstand gunfire from enemy infantry, making them a solid wall for your soldiers to use as a cover, which is a good tactic. Tanks can destroy objects with a red X on the command mode map, either by firing cannon or driving into them. Tanks cannot fit in narrow passages, so advance with infantry in such cases. Those are rather obvious things to point out. So yeah, here's to hoping none of our characters end up being slaughtered by the enemy tank. Since if this game is the same, has the same mechanic as the previous games, which I feel like I keep on saying, then if any of our characters die, they can either be permanently killed or we won't be able to use them in succeeding missions until they recover. Or I may be thinking of Fire Emblem since they sort of feel the same right now to me. Tank warfare. Tanks have 3 methods of attack: armor piercing, mortar, and mounted assault rifle. Armor piercing is for tanks, explosive mortars are for infantry units, which we can use if there are a lot of them. Machine gun is for close range. So it's basically the same controls, and also I don't know if they're gonna tell it later on, but the tank's weakness is that blue spot over there. But since we can't attack it yet, I'm gonna hit on the tank's body and then just use another turn to move closer to the rear of the enemy tank so that we can have an easier time destroying it. Oh, here we go. Tank's weak points. This is what I was talking about. The glowing blue rear plate at the tank's rear ears is its weak point. Get behind enemy tanks and don't expose our own rear, which is a good advice, isn't it? I can't help but notice how much more AP tanks have in this game than in the previous ones. Since before you can only move the tank so much before it runs out of AP the second time around. So this will probably... Oops. Oh, sorry about that, my dog's barking. This will probably end the tutorial. The graphics of the game is really beautiful, even if we're just playing it on the Switch, which is, you know, doesn't really have that much power as compared to the PlayStation or the Xbox, but it still looks pretty good.
Claude knows what I'm
Much better than the PSP games, at least. Or like much better. It's no longer boxy. I guess that's what technology does, though.
They didn't stand a chance. Come on, man. You're supposed to be commander of the Ranger Corps.
A commander still has a heart, same as a foot soldier. Rank doesn't make this any less painful to see.
But crying over flowers? Even little girls have bigger balls these days.
Maybe. But what matters is that their hearts...
All right, I get it. Power of the heart, blah, blah, blah. Look, just go turn in your report already, will ya? Can't go get sloshed if we're stuck here on standby.
Good point. I'll head to the command center.
Hey, you do that.
And tell the brass to send us tougher imps to fight next time, yeah?
Alright, so that's the first mission, the prologue mission, I guess, the tutorial mission, engagement at Milt. Now, as the news bit from Nintendo says, we have the prologue, the first chapter, the second chapter, and then an additional bonus chapter that we can play through. Now, I can squeeze just, I think, one more cutscene here, the cutscenes here, for the prologue of the game before I stop recording, and I do intend to record and upload all the other chapters of the demo, since I really love the Valkyria Chronicles series of games. So before that, let's just save a bit before we start the cutscenes, because I'm pretty sure that's what we have left for the prologue, since we already have the first fight.
Sir, First Lieutenant Claude Wallace reporting in.
Good work out there. Glad you're still in one piece. We're just about to go over our next operation.
You're late. I'm sure you know standard procedure is to report immediately after a mission.
Oh, Minerva. You're reporting too?
That's lieutenant to you, Claude. Don't get smart with me just because we share rank. I've got seniority.
Sorry, Lieutenant Minerva Victor.
Well, let's get started. Minerva, give us a situation report.
Yes, sir. 3 months have passed since we went to war. I won't sugarcoat it. They're steamrolling us. By this point, a third of our territory is under Imperial control. This is officially a crisis.
If it's that bad already, we won't even be able to sustain a war effort.
You're right. And the Empire's only gaining momentum. If this draws out much longer...
The Federation's finished. If we fall, that's it for Europa. Nobody else could stand against them. The Empire would take total control. It'd be a fascist continent ruled with an iron fist. We can't let that happen. Europa's future depends on us.
Which brings us to now. The top brass finally got off their seats and sent us a plan. A counterattack that can turn the war around in one fell swoop, ready to be put into action.
What are the orders?
We put all our force into one strike. Break through their defenses and hit them where they'll hurt most.
Soldiers, supplies. We'll use all reserves we have to make a final push and capture one crucial enemy base. And we lucky few of the 32nd Armored Ranger Battalion have been handpicked as the vanguard.
Couldn't ask for a better mission, sir. Which enemy base are we targeting?
Think bigger. We take this base, and we take their will to fight.
But how could any one target mean that much to... Wait, you don't mean...
You always were a clever boy, Claude. I think you've got it. Our target is the Imperial capital of Schwarzgrad. Let's fight back!
Operation Northern Cross.
The year was 1935 EC. Two great powers vied to control the continent of Europa. In the east, the sun rose over the autocratic East European Imperial Alliance, a dictatorship known as the Empire. In the west, a network of loosely allied democracies banded together to form the Atlantic Federation. Both powers depended on a precious mineral, Ragnite, for their prosperity, its growing scarcity leading inevitably to war. With its overwhelming military might, the Empire captured one nation after another. while the Federation struggled to maintain unity, every battle driving them further back against the wall. 3 months have passed. With 7/10 of Europa falling to the Imperial war machine, the Federation places all its hope in a desperate counterattack. Operation Northern Cross. 6 million soldiers fought in this campaign. It claimed more lives than any other in the Second European War. Federation historians call it the Eastern Theater, but the Empire knows it as the War for the Motherland.
Forward, soldiers! This is the battle you've been training for! Operation Northern Cross begins now! We'll wipe those Imperials clear off the face of Europa! Our time has come! Forward to victory!
Countless soldiers fought and died on those fields, struggling to make their ideals a reality. Ordinary people thrust into extraordinary circumstances, fighting in the hopes that they would see a brighter future. What follows here is a record of those brave warriors, a record of that battle against the dark. Based on the diary of one Claude Wallace, the commander of the Federation's Galleon Squad E. Chapter 1. The Battle of Fort Crest.
Good news, Claude. HQ has awarded you with a medal.
Well, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you for accompanying me as I play through this demo version of the game, at least prologue part. I was about to say fart. I will be uploading all the other chapters that are included in the demo. Probably be doing that once a day, just before we start another playthrough of a different game, since we have completed the Full Metal Panic Fight Who Dares Wins game. So I guess that's that for today. I'll see you all next time. Until then, this is Bianca, and I'm wishing you all a wonderful weekend, and as always, dream on, fly on. Thanks for watching.